So have you and Tate gotten close since you guys have been touring? She's so badass.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How old is she?
She's got to be young.
I think same age.
Yeah.
21 also.
No little sparks of flying there?
No.
Really?
No. She has a boyfriend.
She is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you are so cute.
You know who she's
Thank
with
you.
though, right?
No.
Kid Leroy.
What?
Hey Stoners, welcome back to the podcast. We have not one but two special guests this week. Astra was there for our very first podcast recording.
Was she?
At Mammy's house. She's a puppy, and it was literally like the day we decided to start a podcast.
That's cute.
It's very cute. So Astra is here, but we also have Charlie on a Friday. Welcome
How are we
to
doing?
Cyrus.
Yes, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Can you tell us, because I do want to know, and the
Yeah.
Stoners, where did you get the name Charlie on a Friday?
So it started with, because I started making music in high school, and I played football. So football games were on Fridays, and then we would party on Fridays. So I guess I just really liked Fridays.
Yeah, I mean,
And I think I was trying to choose a name, and I think it just flowed well.
it does.
And I don't think I thought too much about it. I just liked the day.
I love
Yeah.
That's
it.
really good.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the best. Oh, it's always the best when you put like little thought or effort into a name or
Right.
something like it comes naturally. I feel like those are always the best names.
Totally.
I think I also Googled it, and it had zero search results.
Smart.
So I was like, this is a new thing.
Very smart.
Yeah.
I love that. Well,
Yeah.
give us a quick rundown. How long have you been doing music?
Yeah.
And tell the Stoners a little bit about like what style of music you do and how you got started.
I started making music in 8th grade, like first got into it. My friend Cole's older brother had a studio in their parents' basement, and he would make beats, and he was like, bro, I have no one to rap over these beats. So I just started doing it.
Really?
I liked it a lot. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That
Very
seems like Seattle seems like that kind of place.
Yeah.
Like in my mind, when I think about Seattle, like it seems just so like creative people
For sure.
making music. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very artsy and like,
It is. But
Eerie kind
it's
of.
a kind of a big music town.
yeah.
You know, and I feel like when people think of a music town, they think of Nashville or Austin and LA a little bit, but like Seattle is also a very big
sure.
music town.
Yeah.
So did growing up in Seattle obviously influence you to get into that? Obviously you said your friend had that studio.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I don't think about like when I was growing up in Seattle, there was a ton of music. There was like Macklemore is from Seattle, but yeah, Seattle's a very artsy place.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I know Kurt Cobain, he wasn't Seattle. He was Aberdeen, I think.
I don't know.
Yes, but when we like, it's always touring when I visit places.
Yeah.
But when I'm always touring with Molly, and I
Yeah.
just remember being in Seattle, and it just felt so cool there.
Yeah. for
Like, it
sure.
just
it's like
felt-
it's unique.
It is unique.
Yeah.
For sure.
100%.
So how old were you when it went from just like making music in the basement to like, I want to do this as a
Yeah.
career?
So, for a long time, I was just making music for fun, just kind of like, oh, this is cool. Like we made this song, and then COVID happened in the middle of when I was in high school. So I was kind of locked in my room, and I found a microphone in a drawer, and I think that's when I was like, wow, this is like I'm the most happiest doing this. And I was about to go to college and very like unsure of what I wanted to do. So, I think COVID was a good time where I really like found what I
Yeah.
love doing.
Yeah. I think that was the case for a lot of people. Like COVID kind of made everybody slow down and think about things like that, right?
Yeah.
I feel like we all get caught up moving so fast and there's like, got to make a decision where you're going to go to school and what you're going to do with
For
your
sure.
life. So that's super cool that you like had that time to discover that.
Yeah.
Did you end up going to college or no?
I did not go to college.
Yeah.
No.
We love that.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are. I went for a year, but then I quit. That's so funny. Okay. So during COVID, you discovered you're so passionate about this. You had time
Yeah.
to work on it. I know you mentioned before that you played football.
I did.
did you cold turkey quit sports and just focus on music, or what was that transition
So I
like?
wanted to, and then my friends convinced me not to, which I am thankful of that. We only had 5 games my senior year because of COVID, but I feel like I would have really regretted it if I didn't do it.
You didn't play those games.
Yeah. So I am thankful that they convinced me to
I'm
keep
sure.
going. Yeah.
That would have been sad.
For sure. I think I would have looked back and been like, damn, like,
Yeah.
I should have done it.
I know.
And I feel like you would have felt like you let your teammates
For
down
sure.
and all of that. So
Yeah.
now you don't have to live with that.
Right.
True.
So
Yeah.
Are you still friends with anybody you went to high school with?
Yeah.
And your football buddies and stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think football is creates a very unique bond between friends.
Mm-hmm.
You get hit together. You're trying to protect each other. Yeah. I loved playing football.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool. You look like a football player.
totally.
Right?
Thank you.
He's got that vibe.
He totally does.
I love
Thank
it.
you. I appreciate it. Thank
That's
you.
very cool. All right. So you just got off your first headlining tour.
Yeah.
So had you toured years before opening for people, or did you just kind of
Yeah.
go like straight into headlining?
Yeah. I opened up for a lot of people for like the last 2 or 3 years, I feel like. And it's the first headline tour.
Wow.
So it was fun to have our own show, kind of do things how we want to do it. And yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell us like a crazy tour story from this headlining tour?
Yeah. I mean, so in New York, they have like low bridges.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know where we found our bus driver. I feel like from the beginning, it seemed a little questionable. But the bus was 12 feet tall,
Okay.
and he drove under a 10-foot bridge.
No.
Ooh.
So we were all sitting. You were there.
Was this like the middle of the night?
No, it was like probably like 9, 10 a.m. Because
Oh.
half of us were awake, half of us were asleep. And then the whole roof just came off the bus.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you guys freak?
I think my first thing I said was, someone get the camera. That was my first instinct.
Did they? Do you have it on,
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
have it
We
on
have
camera?
a video of it.
That's amazing.
I mean,
it's not,
that's
but-
like pretty insane.
No, I know. And like, there's just holes throughout the entire ceiling. It was crazy.
So was it he'd been up all night and was just like, I mean, like, that's like a pretty crazy thing.
How
No, yeah.
fast was he going?
So actually, he like half of it went off, and then I think he was in a spot where he's like, should I just commit to this? And then he just kept going through, and took the whole roof off of it.
Oh my God. That's
Yeah.
pretty wild.
Okay,
No,
well,
crazy.
I was on a brand new bus
Yeah.
that literally caught on fire and burnt to the ground.
Wow, what happened there?
Yeah, so it was on Miley's Bangers tour, and I'm on the bus with my daughter Noah and somebody from management, and I'm literally, there's only 2 things. I'm not bougie except for sleep
Yeah.
and flying.
Yeah.
Like, I need to fly comfortable and sleep comfortable. So
Yeah.
I always would be, I went on every tour with Miley, but I needed my space. So I had a
Right.
bus with the bedroom in the back.
Yeah.
I just get in my bed and getting ready to go to sleep, and I hear the loud, it sounded like a gunshot.
Yeah.
And so I come running up to the front, and the driver's like, "It's okay, we've just blown a tire," and he's like all
Yeah.
like trying to keep the bus on the road. And we pull over, and somebody gets out and then comes back in and goes, "Get your things and get off the bus immediately. It's on fire." And
That's
I am
crazy.
like, "Oh my God." So I have my little dog. I get Noah. I'm in my PJs, like, and within 3 minutes, the bus like was exploding and burning
The
to the
whole
ground.
bus?
The bus, like, the pictures are online because my daughter Noah like filmed the whole thing.
Yeah.
Classic.
And I mean, she was so little at the time, and literally it was absolutely nothing but like steel shell. Like,
Wow.
Isn't
it
that
was
crazy?
freaking insane.
How many people were on the bus?
Just four of
Okay,
us.
yeah.
And hadn't somebody like taken an Ambien?
And
And it was so hard to wake
her
them up?
manager
Wow.
had taken like, and it took me 3 times to get him up and get everybody. And we were so far out. We were between Houston and we were going to New Orleans. And so, and it was on a bridge. We were on a bridge when it happened. Yeah. It was insane. And we had to sit there for like 4 hours until, because I had stayed behind to shop at the Houston Mall
Classic.
and bought so much like crazy good stuff that all burnt.
You left it all on the bus?
It was
She
all,
didn't have time to get anything.
I had time to get nothing. Like,
How long was it from when you got off to when it got like really bad? Was it on fire when you were on the bus?
Yes.
Wow.
And so what we found out is like say the big trucks, like 18 wheelers, if when they blow a tire, you keep going and it ends up burning it out.
Right.
It doesn't catch on fire, but because he pulled over and stopped,
It all caught on
it
fire.
all caught on
Like, went
fire.
Well, that's a lot worse.
It was freaking crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but anyway, that's a pretty crazy story too.
Yeah.
Tour buses are crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
I
That's
can
way
never
worse
sleep
than
and
the roof
like,
going off.
Yeah.
that's why I started smoking pot.
Because of what?
But the reason I started smoking, so stoners, before we got on, we were just chit chatting about us smoking pot.
Yeah.
And the reason I started is because I had never smoked before. And I could not sleep after that. Like
yeah,
I
yeah.
was like traumatized.
Right.
And somebody gave me an Ambien and it made me feel like total crap the next day.
Yeah.
And then I started smoking to sleep. And that's how
Gotcha.
that started.
And then how long did you smoke for?
10 years.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wild.
Yeah.
I know.
Is it hard to sleep now?
It's so hard.
Yeah. I
And
feel like that's the thing that happens.
yeah. I mean, it just for me, and so we can just transition into.
Yeah, go for it.
We were talking earlier about smoking, and neither one of us smoke now.
Yeah.
It for me, it was like I can't believe how hard it's been for me to adjust in life.
Right.
I would just not think that. But
Yeah.
for me, it has affected me in a huge way.
I feel like I think just talking to people too who used to smoke and didn't, I feel like sleeping and eating is like the two number one things.
Major.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big eater anyway. Like I've always just never really, I'm just not a foodie at all.
Yeah.
And so it also helped me eat, which was great.
Right.
I don't know. I just really miss it. And that's just in all honesty,
Yeah.
I wish it did not give me anxiety, but for some reason it does now because it really for me it was just good for my life during that time period.
Yeah. I miss the good things of it, but you don't really get to pick and choose.
You don't.
Right.
Right.
And
That's the
so
thing.
I talked to somebody that was an addiction specialist about it. And she was like, it's so funny. She goes, and it's not like I've never done psychedelics or any other drugs ever.
Right.
But she was like, honestly, marijuana is one of these drugs that a plant medicine that kind of is for certain periods of people's lives.
Yeah.
And it works for a really long time and it really enhances your life until it doesn't.
Right.
And she was like, and there's kind of no forcing it going back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
was so
Once
upset.
it goes bad, it kind of goes bad. That was kind of my thing too.
So weird.
And I don't know. I don't know what that thing is that changes it.
Yeah.
But I think that maybe I had one anxious experience high, and then I think when you smoke, maybe it just triggers that.
Maybe.
Thing. I don't know.
Interesting.
It's a bummer.
Yeah, for sure.
Is there anything for you that you feel like you've replaced weed with to help you fill that void or deal with?
I mean, I feel like I'm naturally more active.
Okay.
Me too.
Not
Yep.
high. And I think that working out can give you somewhat of a high. Not the same,
Sure.
but yeah. I think I'll probably work out more.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
So when I was really anxious once I quit smoking, and I actually quit working out because I was having all this anxiety in my heart. I had heart palpitations, and
Yeah.
so then I was afraid to work out. But I started walking a lot,
Yeah.
just to clear my head. So, but I'm just getting ready to start working out again, and
Yeah.
I do feel like I kind of need that now.
For sure.
It's so weird. And because even walking, I walk in the morning when I get up, and then I'll walk in the evenings, and I'll walk 6 miles.
Yeah.
And I need it for some reason.
I think that would help a lot probably.
It
So I
helps.
feel like that helped me a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it helps a lot.
Probably just even the structure too of your workout schedule and stuff. I
Yeah.
feel like there's something to that.
Yeah.
I definitely think my lifestyle is healthier
Yeah.
now that I don't smoke.
That's good.
Yeah.
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 That's the one good thing that's come from it. And I do feel like I am so much more present as a person.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
'Cause I feel
I
like
love
I feel
that.
like there's also
Okay.
that.
I love that for you.
Do you?
Yeah, I love hearing you open up about it. I do.
mean, honestly, I think I'm trying to find positivity in it because
Finally.
I miss it so much, and like I want to do it. Like I
know.
like long and romanticize it so much in some ways. But I guess there are some good things that once I'm completely through it are going to be positive.
For
I
sure.
think one thing for me too was like, if something like really awesome happened or something, and I was high, there was like always that one part of me that was like, damn, but like that really cool thing happened, but like, damn, I was hella high.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's so true.
And like I kind of wish I experienced that like with its full potential.
I agree
you know what I
with
mean?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something else I think too, just witnessing like her transition out of this is she was much more okay with like being by herself, right? With like
Yeah.
solitude, being alone. And I feel
When
like
you were
when
high.
she's high, yeah, she's kind of like more okay with just being on her own and like the quiet and like whatever. So I feel like something that's super important is to like have people around you and not just be alone all the time. And something that is in my notes I think is so cool about what you're doing is it says you take your close friends on the road with you.
For sure.
And have kind of made a lot of your friends part of your team.
Yes.
How do you feel like that makes a difference for you being on the road, having those close friends around?
I think that I think one, it's more fun, which I think is an important part of all this.
Yeah. Because if you're not having fun, then you need stuff like weed.
Right. Right. And I think that your friends that were there from the beginning of everything will always keep you grounded. I feel like, yeah, I just like it. I just like it that way.
Yeah. Have
And-
you found it hard to make new friends now that you're in this world?
I think that like the group of people that I bring on the road with me are welcoming people and also social people. And I think if anything, it's helped me make more friends because like, oh, like my friend Jordan met this guy like while we're on tour, like what up? Like, you know, like I feel like anything, it helps you.
Yeah,
I
for
think.
sure.
Yeah.
Super cool.
I would agree with that for sure.
Yeah. So you need people around you, Mom.
I know.
You got to get out there.
Yeah. I need to be more social.
Yeah. And weed will definitely make you less social.
And that's, I know,
100%.
it really did. Like, I was really, like, really okay being alone and isolated. And that's been the hardest thing for me is I'm kind of very, like, now panicky a little bit about being alone and not having, like, I've always been so busy and lately I haven't been, and I'm also not smoking.
Yeah.
And it gives me a lot of anxiety.
For sure.
So like I'm really like having to learn to live my life differently. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think a big part of it for me too was it would mess with my voice. So like I definitely struggle with like keeping my voice good throughout like all the touring. I think
Yes.
I've been touring for like the last 3 years, and like smoking a blunt before you go on stage or something or after, then like the next day, like there's always like that little,
Totally.
it's a little off.
That is so true.
Yeah. And like the thought of that, like I did something to make this thing worse, like isn't a great, I don't like that.
Yeah. And it would definitely over the years affect you in a big way.
For sure. Yeah.
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 Okay, so this is like one of my favorite sponsors because I absolutely use a Blissy pillowcase every single solitary night. And not only is it just gives you a better night's sleep because it is just so much better sleeping on silk, and you have less frizz in your hair. I feel like it causes less wrinkles and also when you put on moisturizer at night, I feel like cotton just soaks it up and silk doesn't.
Yeah.
And anyway, I'm obsessed with Blissy.
I am too. I actually have some Blissy pillowcases on my bed at home. And I got to tell you, I love sleeping on them here at your house too. If you guys aren't familiar, Blissy is an award-winning 100% mulberry silk pillowcase.
Yes.
They come in tons of cute colors and they really make a great gift. I mean, by all means, buy some for yourself. But if you're looking for a good gift idea,
It
really is a great one. I love mine so much that I even travel with it.
I do too.
I do too.
I put it right over the pillowcase at the hotel.
Same. Same. I do too. Because hotel pillowcases are the freaking worst. They're so rough. And like my mom said, like, you know, we're hearing about all these health benefits from sleeping on silk pillowcases. And to me, like, it really does make a difference. You know, I didn't get the best hair from Tizzle here, so I need all the help I can get when it comes to my hair health. And the best thing is the silk pillowcases are washable. They're hypoallergenic, and they have a hidden zipper that you don't even see.
And satin versus silk. Some are dupes that are satin, and satin actually can contain microplastics, which we've been reading so much about, and it is actually not the same as sleeping on silk. So you want to make sure that you get the Blissy pillowcases because they are 100% mulberry silk.
Yep. Blissy has been featured on Good Morning America, The View, Live with Kelly and Mark, and they are dermatologist recommended. Literally everybody loves them. They have over 2 million fans, and you could be next.
And because you're a listener, Blissy is offering 60 knots risk-free plus an additional 30% off. Ooh, that's good.
That is good.
When you shop at blissy.com/stonedpod. That's BLISSY.com/stonedpod and use code stonedpod to get that additional 30% off. Your skin and your hair will thank you.
Well, I want to talk a little bit about your debut album.
Okay.
It came out in August, which is pretty recent, so congrats on
Yeah,
that.
thank you so much.
It's
Thank
called
you.
Wild Child.
Yeah.
I like that title.
Thank you.
Where did that title come from? And I want to know about like what the creative process was like for you and what inspired the project.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the music I make is fun music and songs about partying. And I feel like me and my friends touring the last couple of years, we're definitely partying our asses off a little bit.
Nice, as you should at your age. I love that.
And I think that we've definitely been a little wild the last couple of years. And I think that I made a lot of party music. And I think that, that's why it's called Wild Child.
Yeah.
So not all of it though. It's not all like
not all party music.
Yeah.
When you're making party music, are you partying while making the music?
See, that's the whole thing too. It's like it's hard to make party music if you're not partying.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's like definitely an interesting thing.
Yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
like a good balance, trying to keep a good balance
Yep.
between it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you do any writing and recording on the road, or did you just go into a studio and knock it out?
Yeah, I think also you have a lot of time on the bus where you're just not
You
doing
do.
anything. So I think
Yeah.
I definitely wrote a lot on the road.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like that's like a more like inspiring environment to write.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, for me, I was in a band way back in the day. And for me, like sitting in a dark studio every day, like in the same place every day with
Right.
the same people doing the same thing
For sure.
isn't really the best environment to like inspire creativity, you
Yeah.
know? So like, and I know Miley used to write a lot on the road on the bus, and I
Yes,
just felt
she
like that
did.
was always like just better to foster that.
Yeah.
So that's super cool.
I think a big thing for me too, which this also plays into like the friend thing,
Mm-hmm.
but I've had to learn to like when something happens in that moment, like if someone says something, that's a lot of the times which would like become a song.
You're like, that should be a song.
Right. Like
Yeah.
we have a song called Bottle Go Down on the project, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just a complete drinking song. But this guy at the bar, I think at Aldine's, was like, this bottle's going down like water. And I was like, okay, like that's dope. And like the next day I was like, I want to make a party song. And I just remembered that guy saying that. And it's like interesting how those things can become your songs.
Absolutely.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
And like
Yeah.
making sure you're always looking for it, because you
Yep.
never know like when someone might say something that could be something valuable.
For sure.
Yeah.
You also have a song called I Miss Seattle.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit about that and what home means to you?
Yeah. I mean, I think that growing up in Seattle, me and my friends, the dream was always like, we gotta go to LA after high school and all these things. And because I kind of got like my first spark when I was like 17, 18. So I think that moving out here with some of my friends, not all my friends, a lot of my friends are still at home.
Mm-hmm.
But doing all these things and all these things that we always dreamed of and everything, and you kind of realize that, damn, like no matter how crazy this thing is or how much we always wanted to do this, like it'll never replace. It's kind of like you always want what you're not in.
Totally.
You know?
Grass is
So-
always greener.
Right.
For sure.
So I was just missing like the really basic things about being home,
Mm-hmm.
and like some of my hometown friends and all those things. I think there's a lyric in the song 100 bottles in this club can't drink back how we used to feel. And it's like, no matter how much we do or like how high these highs are, that it's never going to be that though.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Because even for me, like we were talking about LA and like when does that become home?
Yeah.
And LA definitely does feel like home to me. But when I actually go back home to Kentucky, to my hometown,
Yeah.
where all my high school friends still are,
Yep.
even at my age, it always feels like I'm home.
Yeah. It's one of one.
It
Nothing can
is
replace
literally like where I grew up. I'm still friends with my high school friends.
Yep.
And like when I go back there, it feels like I haven't been gone at all and that I'm home.
that. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. It's crazy that like no matter how much goes on, that like that thing will always be something you miss. I don't know.
Totally.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Do you go back a lot to Seattle?
I try to.
Try to.
Yeah. My family, my mom, my dad still live there.
Got it.
But yeah, I try to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It might be different answers. Who are some artists that you looked up to when you were younger and first starting out,
Yeah.
versus like who are some artists that you either look up to now or would like love to work with?
Yeah. I think one for me, definitely in high school, was Post Malone.
You
Always.
give me a Post Malone vibe
Okay,
when I
cool,
listen to your
good.
music.
We
was my-
listened to your music today.
That was the
and
first
she
thing I
like,
said.
He gives me young Post vibes.
He gives me old school Post vibes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I love Post Malone.
I do too.
It was kind of interesting because my parents split when I was 7.
Wow.
And my dad stayed in the city and my mom moved to the country, like the middle of nowhere. So I kind of had my mom, there was only country music playing in the house, and then my dad was only hip hop music. So it was definitely like very different things. But like my mom loved like Jason Aldean, Miranda Lambert, and then my dad was just listening to rap music. So
That's
yeah.
so cool.
That is cool.
yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
So that's why there's like sometimes little country
Oh yeah.
bits in there. But yeah,
Mhm. That's really cool.
yeah.
Posty, that would be a cool one. Who else were we saying that is
Biebs.
Oh yeah, you give me like Justin Bieber. What was the album that I loved that Skrillex did? Where Are You Now? Is that the album was called?
Yeah. Or I think that's a song on there. Is that an
Yeah,
album?
whatever that album was. What was that album called?
Not Changes.
I feel like it was one word.
Purpose.
Purpose.
I
Is
think
that the album?
I think they're all one word though.
Purpose album. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right.
It is.
I loved
go.
that album.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, super cool for its time, and
Yeah.
I like
Skrillex.
Changes a lot.
yeah,
Heard Changes.
I loved that whole album. Like
Yeah.
we played that on it's funny, that was like the time when I was at Sam Hunt's house all the time. He would have house parties. You know who he is? He's a country artist.
Yeah.
And he has like a lot of hip hop influences in some of his stuff, which is cool. And we would just put that album on repeat at his house parties and just listen to it over and over and over again.
That's funny.
We loved it. Yeah. So like some of your stuff kind of gives me that vibe too,
Cool.
which is super cool.
Yeah. I like Bieber.
Yeah. Who doesn't love Bieber? Noah used to be obsessed with the Bieber.
Obsessed.
So funny. You just turned 21. You're
did.
Pisces. Don't you love a
I
Pisces?
love a Pisces.
Really?
Yes. And they're so
Good.
creative.
She does.
Good.
They are. Yeah, they are
they're
very
always
creative.
Awesome.
Do you still feel young, or do you feel like this lifestyle and this business is maturing you fast?
I feel like 17, 18, 19, I definitely like went, like I was getting like paid to be in the clubs when I wasn't even supposed to like be in the club. Like I feel like you like a lot of things like happen earlier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say I don't feel super young.
Really?
No.
Oh, you're so young.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Awesome.
you are.
Yeah.
But you're very mature,
So mature.
Okay.
and you're very like emotionally aware. I
Yes.
feel like, which is cool.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate
Are
it.
you
Yes.
an only child?
I have a stepsister
Okay.
that came into my life when I was 8 or 9.
Got it.
Yeah. Which we were talking about her. She's,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, never done anything wrong, and she's about to go to college. And
Not
it's
that you know about.
Right. And I hope she stays that way.
Yeah.
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 But
Are you very protective over her?
yeah, I think it's just like I think me in high school, I was like a disaster. And like, I think we're very polar opposites. And I've always thought that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But she also stayed in the country. And I had a reason to be in the city, and I feel like I
Yeah.
got in a lot more trouble in the city probably.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Brandi rode horses the whole time she grew
Yeah,
up.
and grew up
Yeah.
in the country.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
she
that's
was,
my sister.
She was a
Yeah.
good girl.
And then my youngest sister Noah grew up here.
Uh-huh.
You are about to wait. You've been on tour with Tate McRae.
Yes.
Okay, you've been on tour with Tate. You're about to go on an Australia and New Zealand tour with her.
Yeah, I've never been there.
I was about to ask if you've ever been to either one.
You guys been there?
Yes.
I haven't done New Zealand.
I haven't been done New Zealand either.
Yeah.
And supposedly New Zealand is literally the most magical place on earth.
Right.
But
someone was just telling me.
Oh, it's supposed
Everyone's
to be
been
like,
talking about it lately.
Everybody's been talking about it lately, but I have always heard that about New Zealand.
Yeah.
But Australia is so amazing.
Is it dangerous? I feel like people say it's dangerous.
No.
Do they?
Really?
Total
Yeah.
opposite, I feel like.
Like, don't kangaroos like fight you?
Oh, well.
Oh, maybe that. So it's funny. We all love an Aussie. I'm married to an Aussie. Her boyfriend's an Aussie.
Cool.
Well, we won't say the
we won't
rest.
talk about that. But anyway, Australia, like Sydney to me reminds me a lot of LA, only it's just like cleaner and the food is fresher. And I don't know, it is
Coffee's
freaking
good
awesome.
over there.
Cool.
Yeah.
You were
I'm
gonna
excited to go.
Oh, you're
yeah,
gonna
that'll be
love
so
it.
sick.
Yeah.
So have you and Tate gotten close since you guys have been touring? She's so badass.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it was cool when we started, because I did the US tour and the Europe tour, and I think this is the same leg of everything, but when we first started the tour, when we first meeting, her song Greedy wasn't out yet.
Crazy.
So it's been cool to just watch her explode.
Yeah.
But she's so talented, amazing.
Yeah, she really is.
How old
Yeah.
is she?
I think
She's got to be young.
same age,
Yeah.
21 also.
Yeah.
No little sparks of flying there.
No.
Really?
No. She has a boyfriend.
She is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
And you are so cute.
You know who she's
Thank
with
you.
though, right?
No.
Kid Leroy.
Which I love his music.
Yeah, he's super cool.
He was
I
I listened to him a lot in high school too.
I
can
know
see
him,
that.
Yeah.
and he is the nicest guy.
Yeah.
Like the first time I met him, he is just amazing.
Yeah.
I did not know they were
Oh
together.
yeah. They're so cute.
Oh, I love him to pieces.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
She'll let you off the hook on that one.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Is there anybody else you've toured with that's just been super cool to you? Like one of your favorite
I'm
artists to
from
tour with?
Seattle, and touring with Macklemore was crazy.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That
Which
is
was super cool.
Really cool.
And he's a really great performer. And I think that I always tried when I was opening up for people, which I still am, but trying to watch them every night and really take things from them. And I think Macklemore just has amazing stage presence.
Yeah, I was about to say that about him.
And the theatrics of it all is
Totally.
he's really great.
I've seen him perform at an award show before, and I was blown away.
He's so much
Yeah.
energy.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll
Yeah.
walk on the crowd.
Yeah.
And his songs are very anthemic. And
Yeah.
So
Totally.
yeah, that was super cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You ready to play a little game?
Yes.
Her favorite
What's the
part of the
game?
episode. It's called What's the Tea?
What's the tea?
And we're just going to ask you some hard-hitting questions.
Okay.
We used to have stakes in this. We still haven't come up with that aspect, have we?
Few good ideas, but it was
Nothing great yet?
weird.
Yeah.
Right.
We used to do something called Truth or Toke.
And if you didn't want to answer, you had
Then you would
to
hit it.
take a hit. So
Okay.
we took that's gone.
Unfortunately, we don't do that anymore.
Unfortunately, no one smokes weed anymore.
Nobody except Brendan, our camera and sound guy. Okay.
You're up first.
Well,
Okay.
this kind of is.
I know you
what
kind
we
of
were
asked
just talking
us.
about is what's your dating life like? Are you on apps, and is it hard while you're on tour?
I'm not on apps, and I get sent screenshots where it's me,
Oh.
but it's not me. Mm-hmm. Whoa, remember the girl there was a crazy thing on tour where I stayed after the show and was talking, taking pictures and everything. I always try to take pictures with as many people as possible. I just feel like it's good. But, and this girl came up to me and she was like, "It's me." And I was like, "What?" "Hi," whatever. And she's like, "Oh, you don't recognize me?" And we'd been in a relationship for, I think she said a year.
What?
Oh,
Yeah. And I was her lock screen, and it was she got catfished, and I felt
Oh
so
my
bad.
gosh.
No.
What app did she say?
I don't know,
That's insane.
but that was such a weird feeling. And I felt so bad.
Oh my gosh.
But
They've got to figure out a better system to like verify people.
well, there's the verified thing, but I don't know.
I don't know. It's too easy to catfish people. Like
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
it is.
Yeah.
And scary.
Or to like tell someone to like pull up and meet when you know it's not gonna shake out is crazy.
Yeah, I know, right?
That is wild.
So that was super bizarre.
Dang, that is crazy.
Okay.
Yeah,
What's next?
should probably just stay away from girls for as long as possible. To be honest, who's the most famous person in your phone?
Oh. Wow, I don't know.
She's snoring so loud.
Maybe Macklemore?
It's a good one.
That is a good one.
It's a good
Maybe-
contact to have.
I'd say that,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. Probably that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who have you been most starstruck by meeting?
It's gonna be the same answer, but because I grew up in Seattle, like I remember being in my room, like fake rapping Macklemore songs in my room, and I think that I think he was also one of the first when I was first coming into this that I met that was like really big, and I think that over time you kind of get more numb to it,
Desensitized,
and
yeah.
like so I think at that moment I was like 17 meeting Macklemore, and I had like Macklemore posters in my room,
It's so crazy, right?
and I was like, what,
Like,
so probably that.
I cannot tell you, I was obsessed. Like, I wanted to be Pamela Anderson
Yeah.
for so many years.
She did.
And now I know her, and I met her like years ago, and now like it's just so weird when you like look up to someone or you've like, it's just the craziest thing to actually finally meet them and like know them on a personal level.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I look at back at my life now because I've just met so many people like during the 80s that I would be obsessed with or like love their music or movies or whatever, and have met so many of those people. That it's always so weird.
I know.
You know, I think about it now and I'm like, and it's like when they're not nice, it's so disappointing.
It is.
Right.
That hasn't happened that often, but when it has, it's so disappointing.
Yeah.
But
What's that thing, like never meet your heroes? Did you say that?
yes.
Yeah. Well, Macklemore was great.
And so was Pam. So
Yeah. But I think when it's like
Hilarious.
childhood rooted, it always
Yes.
hits different.
For
Yep.
sure.
Because you start thinking about like all those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Crazy. What's the most bizarre thing someone has slid into your DMs with?
Wow. Yeah. It's a lot of just like crazy pickup lines that like take a sec to be like, wow, like that's crazy.
Like you thought that would work?
Yeah. I think when someone just like leads with like a nude, like that's crazy.
That isn't. People are so crazy.
Yeah, just sending it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Just
probably-
no context, just the
Right.
photo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Probably that. I don't know. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
do you have any super weird or funny superstitions when you perform?
When I perform. I think like a huddle for the group before you go on stage is mandatory, just to all get aligned real quick.
I love that.
Yeah.
Miley does that too. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Just so you all on the same page.
Yeah.
Maybe that. I used to drink a lot before I went on stage. I stopped doing that.
That would I can't even imagine doing that.
Well, I
Yeah.
think for some people, like it calms your nerves a bit, like or
Right.
like it takes the adrenaline down a little.
Yeah.
But there's obviously a line, right? Like
Right.
it's one thing to have like a shot on your way up there, but
Right. I was not doing
I
that.
think if you're partying for like 2 hours prior, it's probably
Yeah.
not the best.
Yeah. So I stopped doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the huddle's good. We did do that on Miley out with Miley.
What?
The huddle?
Oh yeah.
What?
I was like, no, she doesn't.
No, there's no alcohol.
No alcohol.
No
she doesn't
alcohol.
drink. No.
Yeah. What's the most reckless thing you've done in the name of love?
Whoa.
My favorite question on here.
Done in the name of love. How can we? What's another way to word that? Like,
I guess like instead of reckless, you could say like, what's the most extravagant thing you've done in the name of love?
definitely like traveled for people.
Okay.
Oh.
Getting on a plane's a big deal.
Right. Like flying. Probably that.
That is
Oh,
a
that
big
sounds
deal.
bad. That can't be the most extravagant thing.
I feel like when I was your age though, like I thought that was just like
Absolutely.
such a big thing. Like he got on a plane and flew here for me.
Right.
That would be,
I like loved
yeah,
that shit.
Totally.
So yeah,
Yeah, I'll say that.
that's pretty good.
That is
Okay.
very good.
All right.
I love that one.
I like the next one. It's
Oh,
yours
what
though.
is it? What's the worst job you've ever had?
Okay, so I had one job. I had one job before I did this,
Okay.
and I catered weddings.
Ooh.
So I would walk around with like little appetizers, whatever. And it didn't last super long. I got in trouble because I feel like, here's the thing, like the people at the weddings would love it. I feel like I would like join the wedding.
I was gonna
almost.
say, I
And,
feel like you could get a lot of older women this way.
like, well,
I can't you just see it now? All those single
Oh my
cougars
God,
just
ridiculous.
obsessed with him.
well, I'd be
for
having
sure.
I'd be having a ton of fun at the weddings, and then my boss would be like, "You're not supposed to be in the wedding." I'm like, "But they want me to be."
I bet they do.
And it's their wedding. And I remember I did a backflip on the dance floor at someone's
I'm
wedding,
dead right
and
now.
that was like that was it.
You got canned right after.
Yeah,
That's
but like
too good.
it's their wedding, and they're hiring the people to be at their
Yeah.
wedding. Like if they like
If
do whatever
want,
they want.
If they want you to do a freaking backflip.
Yeah. If they
Right.
want you to
Freaking
hype up
problem.
everybody on the dance floor, then
Yeah.
so be it.
Seriously.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
And then I remember like before that happened too, I got a bunch of my friends also jobs there. So then it was like me and 3 friends at weddings. And then it was just kind of just us partying, I feel like. Is what that turned into.
Now I know why you like wedding crashers so
Exactly.
much.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
good.
Yeah, we were crashing weddings.
That is really funny. If you could swap lives with anybody for a day, who would it be and why?
Wow. I always wonder what it'd be like to be like a pro football player.
Wow.
Maybe that.
Yeah, probably a lot of work.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
what it sounds like to me.
So much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Or
could be
just like
cool.
know what it's like to like be that fast.
Mm.
Really
Yeah,
jump that high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that.
I'm going to skip around.
Okay, go for it.
Who is an artist that you think is underrated?
Underrated.
I don't know who I would say to that.
I don't know. Underrated. Like someone who doesn't have enough credit that I
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or someone that should be bigger than they are.
Yeah. I just saw this kid on TikTok. He's like really young. He like made a song about growing up without a dad, and I thought it was like unbelievable.
Wow.
I'll have to get his name. I don't know, but that kid, that song should be huge. It was like for his age, like it was so good.
Dang.
Yeah, I talked to him for a little bit.
That's cool.
I'm not sure. Yeah, but the song was like incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sick.
I think he lives in Nashville.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many talented people in Nashville.
I know.
It's pretty crazy.
Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it my turn? This is kind of funny. If you could be invisible for a day, what would you do?
Probably just like crazy pranks.
That's
I
a
think
good
I just want to
answer.
pull pranks on people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. I feel like I'd go like sit at your house for a sec and listen to what you have to say about me when I'm not around, and then go
That-
sit at
maybe
Miley's
that.
house for a sec and see what she has to say.
Oh my god.
And then go sit at Noah's house for a sec and see what she has to say. And I would just love to hear what people are really saying.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or would you though?
I think so. I think so.
I don't know if I would want to know whatever. I don't know. Maybe. Okay. Everybody would say me to this question. Who's the last person, like in your contacts, that you'd want to call in an emergency? Like, who would you not call?
Oh yeah, I would not. You wouldn't answer.
Everybody always says I would never call my mom because she would never answer her phone.
Let me think. Who would not? I don't know. If I got a lot of reliable people on my phone.
Seriously?
nice.
That's
Yeah.
great.
I really struggle. I always put you down and think like, well, she'll never answer, but
I put you down too.
well, I will answer.
That's true.
That's the difference.
I really don't know. No one comes to mind.
Okay.
honestly.
Okay,
Well,
wow,
good
you got
for
some,
you.
you got some good friends.
I have a good list of contacts.
Seriously.
Yeah.
If you could steal one thing from a famous musician's house, what would it be and from who?
I feel like he's coming up a lot, but Macklemore has a lot of like big like animals. It's like Night at the Museum stuff.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah, maybe one of those animals. Or like,
that'd be cool.
Or like one of his watches. He has a lot of nice watches.
He like comes over and sees it and he's like, oh, so this is sick. And you're like, yeah, so cool.
I guess I don't know what's inside a lot of other people's houses, so I
know,
wouldn't know
right?
what to steal.
I was thinking like instrument, like maybe like an acoustic guitar from John Mayer or something. I don't know, like something like that maybe.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. Or like one of their Grammys.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
That'd be funny. And people are like, whoa, how'd you get that? And you're like, yeah, like helped write the song. I don't know. They sent me a Grammy.
I want a dog. Maybe steal someone's dog.
Oh, what kind of dog do you want?
I don't know. I just really want a dog. Really
Dogs
bad.
are made,
But
clearly.
then I don't know if I can like deal with everything else.
It's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
But if you get one like this that you can take with you everywhere you go.
Right. What determines if you could take the dog or not?
How well behaved they are. So
Right.
get it professionally trained would be my suggestion.
Yeah. Like I couldn't train it.
Yeah, it's all.
She's great at training.
But I still had help with her.
Did you?
Yeah, Mike.
Okay.
Mike Sweeney, give him a call. He's the
But
best.
Literally, when this dog was little, she took her everywhere.
Yeah.
Like you're not really supposed to fly with them before 6 months, but I took her. And I was on like a podcast tour actually with a friend of mine, and
Cool.
I just toted her around. She peed in a couple green rooms. Oops, so sorry. But her being on the road like that when she was so young made her so like she'll just go wherever and just plop down and she's quiet. But I really think like even if a dog is so good or like you feel like you've got good skills to train it, professional help is what makes the difference.
Yeah,
even if it's just basic obedience, you know?
Something tells me my dog wouldn't be very well behaved.
Yeah, well, you got to send it to training at least
Yeah.
for a few weeks. And
But
then
also, some dogs are just super hyper.
they are. I know. I did get lucky with her.
You got really lucky. She's just so quiet all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
Like, she's such a great dog.
Yeah. But if you want to take it on the bus, like maybe a small dog.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's tough.
That's another thing. Like people do that a lot. You think?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Molly always takes her dogs.
Really?
Yeah.
I know a lot of people that take their dogs on the
Yeah.
road.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
How does that work when they have to?
My son Trace takes his dogs
Yeah, he
on
does.
every tour.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not big dogs.
Yeah.
Some people
Really?
do.
Yeah. His dog, he has a German Shepherd Lab mix.
Yeah.
Always taking him.
I know.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you get to the point where you have an assistant, then you just have them take it out to potty, have them take it on walks.
Yeah.
You'll be set.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
So in a way, I think big dogs are easier on the road in a way.
Yeah.
You know?
I know.
Because they hold it longer.
They do. I just think it's so easy and great to just be able to like pick the dog up and let's
Yeah.
go, you know?
Yeah.
That's
I don't
true.
know. Stuff it in a bag and,
Yeah.
and wheel it on down the
That's true.
down the road.
But
yeah.
I realistically shouldn't have a dog though.
Well, someday,
Someday.
because dogs are great.
Yeah.
But I want one now.
She's the center of my whole universe.
Wow.
She
Yeah.
really is.
She really is.
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. It's technically your turn, but
What's a random skill you'd love to learn, even if it's totally useless?
I can't cook. It's definitely not useless, but I really can't cook.
I
at
can't
all.
I
cook
can't either.
Yeah. I can I'm really good at putting things in the microwave.
See, I'm
But
not even
that's-
great at
that's-
I'm not
that.
great at that either.
Sometimes I overcook it. Sometimes the
Yeah.
center's still cold. Like,
Yeah, I'm not really good at that either.
it's all
Yeah.
hard.
But
I
that
mean-
was a good one.
The amount of times I've said this too in like interviews and never just always the same. I've just never learned. Yeah, to cook.
Yeah.
I gotta get
know.
on that.
I got to get on it too.
It's a good skill to have.
I mean, like, really, like, I think about it a lot. Like, I really do. I like, because I'm on this, like, what am I going to do with my life now that I'm not stoned?
Cook.
And I'm like, maybe I should learn to cook. Maybe I should, like,
I would love that personally. I
yeah.
feel like I would benefit from
I
that.
was like, you know, like, I need some things to do with my time, like go to the grocery store. and
True.
yeah. So anyway, cooking's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Uber Eats stuff is like a horrible habit.
Horrible, I know.
Just
It's
Yeah,
insane.
And just so expensive.
And not,
Right.
I was just getting ready to say, I ordered literally, I was being lazy today and ordered coffee bean to the house
Yeah.
and got like 2 coffees and like a pastry. And it was something outrageous, like
I believe it.
$40 or
Yeah.
something. And I'm like, what?
I know.
Like, that is so wild. Like, we should not be doing that.
No, we should not.
Yeah, Uber's crazy.
We need to
It is
stop that.
really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have a Dear MT.
We do. Okay.
Yeah. So we do a segment called Dear MT where our listeners either call in or sometimes they send videos and they ask for Tish's advice on things.
Okay.
Feel free to weigh in, you know,
Okay.
if you have any advice. This one's just audio. So
Okay.
just give it a little play here.
Thank you so much for having such a great podcast. I often listen to it as I'm falling asleep, and then I have dreams that we're best friends, which is really fun, and maybe in a different universe we're best friends. So anyways, I am here for some advice. A very good friend of mine and I are in a little bit of a spot right now. She is more of an anxious attachment style, whereas I'm more of an avoidant attachment style. And as you can imagine, we really irritate each other. And recently she got pretty upset with me and called me out for that she's feeling that she has a one-sided relationship and she's always reaching out to me. And although that's likely quite true, I have reached out to her on some occasions, and she also called me out for missing some things, and the things that she called me out for I missed because I had COVID or I had to reschedule, but it was several weeks in advance that I told her, and I gave her a lot of dates, and then she never followed up with me. And I just feel really turned around, and I want to have a really good friendship, but I have expressed that we have this attachment style issue and that I feel really safe when I'm avoidant, so I really have to put myself out there to, schedule things in advance and kind of go out of my way. So it's just harder for me, and, for her to maybe take that as a sign that I really love her because I'm going outside my comfort zone, and she just keeps getting really angry at me and I don't know what to do. It's also probably important to note that I'm married and we just bought a new house that we're doing a ton of work on, and I moved to a different neighborhood in the city, and she's single in an apartment, and when I'm jackhammering concrete all weekend, I kind of just want to lay down on my Saturday night and watch TV.
I heard that.
So I don't know. I just wanted to see if you guys had any experiences with this and any thoughts on how to manage the conversation, because I don't really want to give up on the relationship, but I find that it's becoming more work than, enjoyment anymore. So thanks so much. You guys are awesome.
I hate when that happens.
But it does happen
a lot
as you get older.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
it really does.
I know.
I feel like this is a better one for you.
I hate when you say
I
this.
do.
She does this when she feels like that there's the answer's a tough one. She wants me to be the bearer of bad news.
It is a tough answer, and because I'm sitting there thinking about which am I, the avoidant
her.
or the am I?
I can't stand when people are clingy and needy, and
I don't think I can either.
I can't do that.
But I also I'm an oscillator too.
Yeah, so you're this girl.
I think I'm that girl. Yeah.
You want to be at home on Saturday nights watching TV.
I used to, yeah, and I still do.
You still do.
I just want to be stoned,
Mom. Okay, here's what I have to say. I think that as we get older and our lives change and circumstances change, I think it's normal for some of your friendships to change.
Totally.
And I feel like I've had a couple of friends over the years that it's been at one point we were really close. Maybe we both had more free time and weren't traveling as much or working as much. And so you spend all this time together. And then as you get busier, the person kind of feels like you're not meeting them 50-50 or you're not making time for them. And that can get so hard. And I feel like for me, what I've kind of done is just kind of weaned them off of this 24/7 friendship, and it's just turned into more of a casual friendship, and I think that's okay. You don't have to lose friends over it,
right?
Which that's up to her as well, right? She kind of has to be okay with more of a part-time friendship, more casual friendship than seeing each other all the time and doing stuff together all the time,
right?
But I feel like you could sit here and you could talk to her and you could have conversations and express your feelings, and she can do the same. And if that doesn't get you anywhere, I feel like it's kind of best to just kind of wean off of spending so much time together. And eventually that more part-time friendship will normalize.
Right. But that does happen as you get older.
It does. And I think it's okay.
Especially now that this girl's married.
Exactly.
And she's redoing her home. And it feels like their lifestyles are completely different now.
Yeah. And as you get older, I feel like sometimes you find you have less in common with your friends than you did. And that's okay.
Very true.
Yep. So that's my old jaded answer. Do you have any insight?
I feel like my age 21, you're starting to graduate from college and everything.
Mm-hmm. So and even then people
people grow apart.
Yeah.
Moving,
when everyone goes different schools and everything, people definitely lose friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, it's tough. It is hard. I don't know if we really helped her at all, but
I think we did.
yeah, I would say like don't feel guilty for needing to protect your own peace about it, you know.
Exactly.
Like you can only do so much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
well, on that note, this was so fun.
Yeah, thank you
Charlie,
guys
thanks
so
for coming
much.
on.
I'm
Thank
so
you,
glad
guys.
you came on.
Thank you. I'm glad I came on also.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
Thank you.
I gotta remind the stoners not to forget to email us their Dear MTs and Tea Time with Tish
What-
questions.
what
Is that truly Tish?
What is Dear MT?
So, go ahead.
People always call me MT.
Okay.
Mama
It's
Tish?
Short for Mama
Yep.
Tish. I don't know who started it, but like all Miley and Noah's fans call me MT. It's
Gotcha.
insane. And so people call in to Dear MT and
Yeah,
Cool.
for
ask
advice.
for
For
advice.
advice.
Anything from like relationship advice to interior design advice, because
Yes.
that's her expertise.
But we need the stoners to call in.
We do. And we love the video submissions.
I know I love a video submission.
I love getting
so
to see you
much.
guys, and it feels like you're here in the room with us. Is so fun.
Yes, we definitely need ones for Truly Tish.
And what's your tea time with Tish?
Tea Time with Tish is the same thing. We're spilling the tea. Like, give me your tea. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
We need the questions because that's my favorite segment.
Okay. I love it.
so much.
Well, stoners, y'all can send those questions to sorrywe'recyrus@gmail.com. Can be audio, can be video, can even be text if you prefer. And we will see you next week, you guys. Oh, wait, before we go,
Yeah.
I know you're going on the Australia, New Zealand run, but
Yeah.
what's next for you and where can the stoners find your music?
Charlie on a Friday on everything, and
Charlie on a Friday, one word.
one word, 2 N's though.
2 N's.
Yeah.
2 N's, one word.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And after the tour, working on new music and just vibing out.
Vibing out. All right.
Yeah.
Well, if you have any LA shows, you have to let us know. So
Yeah.
we
For
can come
sure.
see you.
That'd
Absolutely.
be so fun.
Thank you guys so much. I
Yeah.
appreciate you.
Thank
was
you
fun.
guys.
Yeah.
See
Thank
y'all
you.
next week.
Bye, stoners.
Awesome.
This podcast has been brought to you by Podcast Nation and Hopetown Entertainment.